maybe you have issues in your life. If you have issues in your life that you don't like, ask yourself, what have you been thinking? How have you been thinking? So it's all about what you think. Life is all about what you've been thinking.
Yeah, that's right. I totally agree. Things you put in your mind, and it has an effect, obviously, on your emotions, on the psychological part, and your social well-being. So
Mm,
and it's important, really, to have a good mental health to cope with stress, right? When we are
mhm,
put under pressure, when we relate to others,
mhm.
making choices as well. So we've got more clarity, we are more like focus. And it has a big influence on our daily lives, relationships, and productivity. So,
Yes.
Angela, what are the common mental health issues? What do you think?
I think one of the biggest mental issues that we can talk about would be things like anxiety. Anxiety is something that we take for granted. We don't see that it can affect or it's affecting how we think, how we feel, or our mental health in general. So, anxiety is maybe like being in a position where you're in a panic mode, or you feel like you're not fitting in the right spaces or in your social circles, or maybe you have a certain situation you're dealing with, and you're not certain about the outcome. This is one of the mental issues or mental health issues that we are dealing with day in, day out, but we take them for granted. And I was looking at the hormone that is produced when we are anxious and the hormone that is produced when we are excited.
Mm-hmm.
Come is um, you know what are we putting in our minds? How are we converting that anxiety or excitement? So it becomes a mental issue when we are anxious, but it becomes a mental something that that we can use for ourselves when it is when we are excited. But it's still the one and the same thing. It's just how we interpret in our minds. So I would also think of things like depression, something that people are dealing with day in, day out, and especially for us women. We juggle in a lot of things, and we are expected to do more than we can, though more than we are able to, and we end up being, in feeling like we don't matter. We feel like we are alone. We feel sad. We feel like I'd rather be in a secluded place than being out there. I stay fatigued. I don't sleep. And then you wonder, what is this all about? And it's all about it's just depression, being in a place where you don't feel accepted and you feel like you're in your own world because you're trying to be the best in everything. You can imagine being a sister, being a daughter, being a mother, being a very good friend, and then you're working. And in every aspect of all those things in life, you're not expected to fall short. You're expected to shine and still wear your crown up high. So it's a lot for us women. Yeah. So back to you, Isa. What do you think? What would you say about those issues and maybe others that you may think of?
Well, I totally agree. Anxiety disorders, and when you're overwhelmed and suddenly you don't, that's a panic. You can't see clear, and your mind is, and even your vision is going blur, and depression, obviously, and that's when there is, I would say, an accumulation of anxiety. So it gets so big that you can't see the end of the forest, and you're so tired as well. So a lot of lack of energy, and stress related disorders as well, like PTSD, and are part of the mental health issues. So yeah, and with the life we live at the moment, I mean, very busy as you were saying, juggling. I mean, being the best, and we are expected to be even better than the best. So it puts a lot of pressure on ourselves, and that's why we get anxious, depressed, and we get overstressed, right? So. But there are some techniques, and that's something we are going to see today. And I mean, let's have a look at the first mental issue you mentioned, Angela, which is the anxiety disorders. So, what do you think are the techniques that we can use for anxiety disorders?
One of my favorite is deep breathing. Today, actually, not even earlier or later than today, I was talking to my mother about how to deal with anxiety because currently we are dealing with some family issue that is really making her kind of anxious. And I was telling her, she was saying that I don't sleep. Sometimes I wake up in the night and I'm just staring at the ceiling and I don't know what to do. And time goes by. I'm old now. I need to rest, but I can't rest. So I told her, I've been talking to you about breathing, breathing technique, just deep breaths. And she tried to do that when resting for the afternoon. And she just told me that this is amazing. It's really amazing that it's really working wonders for her. So she said, "I didn't know that I was holding back from this because it's something that I've been trying to tell her to practice, but old age and." So I'm glad. So deep breathing is one of the exercises that we can do to be able to heal and to get out of these anxieties and these disorders. Just breathing somehow makes you still, makes you calm down from, all this turmoil, all these things that are happening. And somehow it's not an ignorant way of doing things because we are not ignoring what is going on. We're just calming ourselves so that we can deal with it. And the way to do it, you can inhale, take a deep breath inside, and then you count 1 to 4. Not 1, 2, 3, 4. No, count it slowly. Go slowly. And then you exhale and count another 4 times. And somehow you will just feel that your nervous system is calming down with every breath that you take. So the more you do it, the better it becomes. So that's one of the things I would advise that we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I actually did some yoga today, and that was one of the exercise. One of the exercises we had to do is to breathe, and I love it because that's when I feel really going down all the emotions, all the chit chat in my head. So I just feel like Zen.
Yeah.
Well, there is the mindfulness meditation as well. When you spend a few minutes each day, you don't have to start with a half an hour. Just sit in a room, silent. Try not to think about anything, or just focus on the present. So you're there in the present, because being anxious most of the time is like we are thinking about the future, right? And we don't concentrate on the moment, on now. And that's something we need to learn. And it took me a long time to do that, to be honest. And what I do to be in the moment so my mind doesn't wander and travel, I talk to myself and I just say, okay, I'm doing this. For example, if I'm writing, I am writing on my notebook. When I'm washing dishes, for example, it helps me a lot to be in the present. I just say, okay, I take the sponge, I take the washing liquid, and I put the washing liquid and the sponge on the plate. I'm just doing like washing the plate. So I'm just like in the moment. Even when you go for a walk, if you want to be in the moment, it's just like looking around you and identifying, for example, like things you didn't see the first time you went for a walk at the same place, and try to be in the moment.
Yeah, and it's not easy because especially when you're dealing with a lot, it's not easy. We stay a lot in the past and in the future, and we
Yes.
forget that the most important place to be is in the present,
Mm-mm.
where that is where we are cooking everything. You cannot go forward using the rear mirror, so you have to keep on or use looking at the windscreen, the back windscreen. So we just use the mirrors for reference or for maybe just to know what to avoid, what to what to ignore, what to avoid, what not to do again. But where we are is the most important place to be. So
Mhm.
something else maybe we can do is physical exercise. I was having a training this week for some ladies, and they seemed to be in a work environment that is very busy. They get to work at 6, they leave work at around 8 in the evening. So that's a lot of hours, and they work and they carry work home. And I'm still insisting that you should exercise. So so they're asking, so what time do I exercise now, given that I wake up and I have to go to work at this time? And I was asking them, so how do you look at exercise? Because we make exercise look like something so hard because we are trying to allocate big time and long time for it. Yet the shortest kind of exercise is even the most effective
Mhm.
because you can do like heat exercise, the HIIT. So heat exercise, you do just like 7 minutes, and you can do the quick jump, you can do jumping jacks, you can do 50 squats within 7 minutes or even 5 minutes. You will have done so much, and your body is sweating, and that affects your mind positively. It affects your mood positively, and it affects just the whole body. I mean, the whole body is sweating. Your skin is open. So a lot is going to happen when you do just small exercise. So you don't need to have a lot of time to do exercise. You can even do the squats, say that when I put on my top, I'm going to do 5 squats. When I do my trouser, I do 5 squats. When I do, when I do my makeup, I do another 5 squats. Just make it a fun routine for
Uh-huh.
yourself. So you can invent it the way you want. It doesn't have to be something so big. And something else that I was a victim of is doing the wrong things, like coffee, taking a lot of coffee.
I do
Yeah,
too. And I can't let go. It's really hard.
yeah. I used to, but now I've reduced it to morning coffee. But it used to be my day, like my day drink. When I'm thirsty, I take coffee. Before I go to bed, I even take coffee, and I still sleep. I don't know how that was working. But now if I take coffee in the evening, I'm not going to sleep. So it's when we reduce stimulants, then we are also reducing these anxiety symptoms. So it's also good to look at what you're putting inside yourself, like, this caffeine, and you cannot take wine or a lot of wine. Maybe a glass is good or two, but not frequent. And again, not too much, because if you do, it's also going to affect you. So look at what drug you're abusing also, because sometimes we abuse drugs in the name of killing anxiety.
Yeah. Sugar as well. Sugar is not good at all. That's something I'm trying to reduce as well, which is hard because I love everything sugary. And but yes, people think that with sugar we get more energy. That's not true. It's just like a pick, and then we get so tired
Mhm.
afterwards. So it's not doing the job really. We need to lower the sugar level.
Yes, you're right.
What about Any other tip, Angela, for anxiety?
I think setting boundaries for yourself, set boundaries. People can really step and overstep on you and especially for us women, if you're not careful, because you're there, you need to serve your husband, you need to serve your children, and at the end of the day, the smallest time is left for you. You realize that you can't even have a good shower because because you're out there serving people. So it's good to set boundaries. It's good to have some me time for your own healing, because healing is a process. It's a daily process. Every day we go through things. Life will push us to the wall some way, one way or the other, or life will disappoint us one way or the other. So we have to learn to set boundaries for ourselves, because we have to deal with filling ourselves up, taking care of ourselves, loving ourselves, because until you do that, then you're not going to be able to love others the way, they deserve, or the way you need to. So it's good to look at yourself first. Put yourself first.
Yeah.
Always the first step should be yours. Always you must make sure that I am happy. And when I am happy, I know everyone around me will also suck into that happiness. I was coaching another lady recently, and she's been in a marriage that is very crazy. The husband puts her down all the time. And I taught her how to, take care of yourself, take care of your mind. Sometimes let him, when he shouts, it's like she can't move. She's there and she's stuck. So when the husband is not, treating her properly, I told her, put on your earphones, listen to your best music, be joyful. Somehow this joy is going to start reflecting into that environment, because we are sources of energy. And somehow this energy is going to also start reflecting into that person. So now he started wondering, how come what I'm doing to her is not affecting her anymore? So and slowly he's asking questions and toning down his tone and behaviors, and slowly he's coming around. So somehow we may think that running away is the solution, but sometimes even sitting there to fight your own way, especially putting yourself first, is the best way. Yeah.
It is. Number one, me. Number two, me. Number three, me.
Yes. Me, myself, and I.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Setting boundaries. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to set boundaries, to say no, especially when you've said yes for ages, and people don't understand. But at the same time, you need to be well to be with other people around, and to get respect, basically. So, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes even putting yourself down creates respect, the respect that you deserve.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important to do that, to put yourself first, to set these boundaries, and let people know that we are trying to create a foundation, or put it in you that you're trying to create a foundation for something bigger. So look at where you're going. Where am I going with all this? So if I need something big for myself, then I need a stronger foundation. So what am I doing to create that foundation? So what about when you go to depression? What do you think? What are some of the things that we can do, especially for us women, to overcome all this?
Well, actually, lately, Angela, I've been working with two ladies who have just come out of depression. And it's to find a routine, right? To establish a routine and be in the moment, as we were saying as well before, create a daily schedule to provide structure, right? And to get like a sense of purpose. And one of my clients decided to go back to school and take English classes, because she's in Spain, right? And so she knows that she has every Wednesdays, she goes to class. And then from one Wednesday to the next class, she's got to study, or she wants to study. And she remembered as well when she was younger and she was in England, and how happy, right, she was. So her goal, right, the sense of purpose is to get to be able to communicate and to be bilingual, so she can get a job, a better job as well, and then she can go back to England where she had a fantastic time before. So I think if you see like something you really want to do, just start like small little goals and establish a daily routine. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have to begin somewhere. And, always know that you have what you need, what it takes, or what you need to begin or to do something, to do whatever it is. So, whatever it is that you need to do. So, you have what it takes, you have what you need. So, just look around you and see that, I have, like when I started my first uh, coaching business, I told myself, I have what I need. I have my voice. I didn't even have a laptop, Isa. Can you imagine? Because I started from rock bottom. So I
uh-huh.
had a phone, and I said, well, my phone is not very clear. It's blurred, but it's all right. It's a phone. So it can access WhatsApp video calls. So I have a phone, I have a voice, I have, I can get some little transport here and there to get to places. So I started going and sharing giving free talks, sharing my story, and somehow doors opened. And that's how I ended up meeting people like you, wonderful people in my life like you. So you can begin from somewhere, begin a routine, always have a sequence of what you're doing. It gives momentum and it shows you that you're doing something.
Mhm.
And then engage into, activities that make you feel alive, things that make you feel fulfilled. Human beings have the tendency of feeling fulfilled when we give, when we serve, whether you are Christian or not, whether you're, whoever you are, even when you're a thug, or, okay, we are not advocating that you become a thug, but we are saying everybody, even those who go out to do wrong, they do wrong because they want to give somebody or to do something for others, maybe their family or whatever. So when we engage into something that is going to generate that fulfillment, because when we do something for others, we tend to feel fulfilled. You can go out for a walk with friends. We can say that I'm starting a morning walk for widows, or I'm starting a morning walk for ladies from the estate where I live, who is willing to come. That is an activity, and it's going to feel that very fulfilled. You're going to feel very fulfilled when you begin something like that. So engage in something, a hobby, some social activity, planting trees, um, going to sweep in the church or to wash. I don't know, something. Just get out there and do something. It doesn't have to be work, and it needs to feel, like you're doing something at ease. It's something easy for you and easy going for you.
And
Yeah.
something fulfilling and something where you are passionate about, like when you are talking about activities, do something which makes you feel good,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
As women, we like feeling good and appreciated. Thank you. Because of you, I did one too. Because of you, I've also stepped out. Let it be fulfilling. Let it be something that you're passionate about. And maybe something else you can do is, stay grateful.
oh yes. Hmm.
Stay grateful. Look around you and see so many things that you have. There's a lot of positivity around you, whether you want to look at it or not. If you want to see the negativity, look for it. You will see it. I guarantee you. But choose to look at the positive side of life. choose to be grateful for the things that you have and also the things that are coming. You
Mm-hmm.
know, as you manifest for whatever it is that you want. If I want today to, I was telling another lady that because my car is small, I want a car that I can climb on, not a car that I get in. Now I'm saying that when I'm praying, I say, God, thank you for this, for the coming car, the car that is
Yeah.
coming that I'm going to be climbing on, not just to get in. So practicing gratitude has a way of preparing you and even preparing your mindset and your actions into even attracting those things. What do you think, Isa?
Yeah, I totally agree. And looking at it, for example, for me, it's just like, okay, I'm healthy, right? I've got a house, I can eat 3 times a day minimum, right? I've got my dogs, and so I've got the park there. I can go and walk when I'm a bit overwhelmed, and so yeah, I'm in the gratitude space. And what you were saying earlier as well, what you're going to organize that walk with your ladies in your neighborhood is really to connect with others. Don't stay isolated. Just
Yeah.
reach out, tell people. I mean, good friends who will support you. You really, really need the support from friends and family. And just one step at a time, connect with one new person for a week, and then try another one, and just see how it goes. But don't stay at home just like isolated, because that's worse, because you stay with your mind, you are in your head, and it's like a vicious circle. You stay, and so you don't see anybody, you stay in your problems, and again and over again. So yes, definitely connect with others, and that's a great idea to go and organize. I should do that and organize with my ladies here in my neighborhood. Just let's go for a walk in the morning. So
Yeah, I think even it just came, is an idea that just came into my head. But the more we talk about it, the more it feels alive. Like this is something I also want to do. You know,
um,
starting a walk club, a ladies' walk club.
exactly.
Sounds nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it sounds really good. Yeah, and you don't need anything. Like you
Oh,
don't need money for that. You don't need. It's just free. You
uh-huh,
know.
exactly.
Yeah. So I will update you on that one.
Please, I can implement it here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think also is some of the things that, especially nowadays, that people are doing to deal with stress, which is the wrong thing, is screen.
Oh, I know.
We are using the screens in the wrong way. You can sit down with somebody and they're just scrolling, especially in Africa. I don't know whether at your place we have TikTok.
Yes, we have TikTok, Facebook, we have
Facebook Shorts,
Instagram. Well, we've got
Facebook Reels, all those, especially those small, those, I don't know, those short videos. Right now, you're watching about health, then you go to gossip, then you go to entertainment, then you go to again to, I don't know what, and then something crazy, an accident, some news in the US, some other news in Africa, something. It's like so much in like 1 hour. You've put so much of chaos in your mind,
yes.
and yet here you're dealing with depression and also, or maybe things like Netflix. It doesn't help to keep your eyes or your mind in the screen. Instead, it makes you even feel more sad. It makes you feel, inadequate, because many times we are comparing ourselves with what we see in the
Exactly.
screens,
Yeah.
and we keep asking ourselves, why can't I be like so and so? Why am I not like so and so? And or like this person. Sometimes we are even comparing ourselves with people that we've never seen and we will never meet. People who will never impact our lives in any way except negatively, because we are here comparing ourselves with them. So limit screen time. Even if you're watching just documentaries, limit the screen time and instead now do these activities we were talking about. Take a book and read. It is more fulfilling, it's more enriching. So look for what can I do to, to make myself stronger or richer. I had there's a time where I had that habit, and I realized that I need to do something different. And for me to start overcoming it, I started by, I would, instead of watching, like maybe a documentary or watching these videos or a movie, I would instead put an audio book
Yes.
in the screen. So I put an audio book. I don't need to watch. I just need to listen. And instead of watching, I take a notebook. So I write down the things that I feel stand out in that audio. So when I feel that I need to write something, this one is really nice, I pause and I write it down. And slowly the habit changed into a learning process. And I even ended up finishing some courses that I had stopped and doing others because it gave me that desire to even continue learning. And that desire has never stopped. So you can change your routines, you can change what you're feeling, you can change all these habits by just starting afresh and seeing what can I do to change what I've been doing that makes me sad.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
When you look at pictures, for example, on social media, and you think, oh my God, she's beautiful. I wish I was like that. Well, there is one thing I'm going to share with you all, ladies. Most of the pictures have been retouched, right? So with Photoshop. So don't think that the models are so beautiful or as beautiful as the picture, because with workshop you can put like longer legs, or you can just do so many things. And now with artificial intelligence, it's the same, right?
Yeah.
So don't take it as granted as that people look like that. So and as Bob Marley used to say, there's no perfection in life. And I was reading that yesterday, and don't think a woman is perfect anyway, whatever she looks.
Wow.
So that's what I wanted to share with you. So don't trust the media as far as pictures are concerned. So don't, because they are all retouched, And but yeah, don't compare yourself. You are enough. You are whole. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and don't let anybody tell you, well, you should be this, you should be that. You are who you are. So
Yeah. And you are okay as you are.
exactly, you are
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So how do you know that you're going through some of these things like stress disorders? How do you identify, you know, um, what you're going through? How do you know? How do you deal with these signs? How do you see the signs? What can we do to discover that I'm going through this?
The first thing is the emotion. When you get overwhelmed and stressed, suddenly your body changes, right? Breathing might be short, right?
Mm.
And you might feel like a tight chest as well, okay, with a panic attack. You can feel as the depression totally isolated in a way where you are in yourself. You don't interact anymore, right, with people. You can just suddenly your mind is blurred, right? You don't know what to do. You're frozen.
Mm.
So there are so many ways you can realize that that's it, or
Yeah.
you can stop and just think, oh, I've got a few signs, a few symptoms. Just stop.
Yeah. I think also eating too much or too frequent and too much. It's also a way of, you're dealing with something. There's something you're dealing with. That's why because food is a comfortable, eating is a comfortable place to be.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, yes. So there are people who comfort eat.
Mm-hmm.
So when you find yourself eating and you don't know why did I just eat, and all this narrows down to being conscious,
Yes.
being conscious or being self-aware. And I think also looking at your own body. How do I go to bed? When I'm going to bed, how do I feel? Am I feeling tired? When I wake up in the morning, am I feeling tired? Because sometimes you wake up in the morning and you feel more tired than you were when you're going to sleep. That is a sign that you are stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and there's some things anyway we can do to overcome all these things, to overcome the stresses and all these disorders. And I think we can maybe do something like what you did in the morning, yoga,
Mm-hmm.
relaxing. Just try to relax, try to relax your muscles, just reducing the physical tension by yoga. I'm not so good with yoga. Maybe you can say something about that.
Yoga, in a way, is the connection between your mind, your heart, and what's around. And so, really, it's a way to be in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing some exercises. So, because you're moving, I mean, you do the movements very slowly, but you move and you tone your muscles. So it's like a mix, really, of exercising not only your body but your mind too, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
are in the present, because first you have to listen to the teacher, right, to the instructor, and
Mm-hmm.
then apply, right? So you are in the present all the time. I mean, you are supposed to be in the present all the time. I mean, sometimes my mind travels a little bit, wanders, but and
Yeah.
then there is a bit of a meditation as well. So the meditation as well, you listen to the instructor. So it changes your mindset and you are in the present. So you practice as well. You could practice like an intention, or you can practice an affirmation. You sing as well some mantras. So there is a mix of different techniques, but to invite you to be in the present.
Mm-hmm.
The breathing, I forgot the breathing as well, which is really, really good because it lowers the emotion, right? If you're
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah. We cannot also talk about practicing some grounding techniques.
totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Being grounded. And there's this technique called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique that you can use. Look at the space you're in, identify 5 things that you can see. Like for example, I can see my laptop. What else can I see? I can see you just focus on a small space because maybe where you are could be a big space. Although for me, grounding techniques, I would rather do them in an open space, like
Mhm.
in the garden or somewhere, maybe at the beach or somewhere in the woods. Some is connecting with nature.
Mhm.
So look for see things that identify 5 things that you can see, identify 4 things that you can touch, identify 3 things that you can hear, and identify 2 things that you can smell, and then lastly 1 thing that you can taste. So this somehow is going to ground you and help you to calm yourself up. So I don't know, Isa, you're the expert in this one also.
Well, I have done that one with a group, right? And that's really efficient because once again, you go back into the present. Because
Yes.
let's say, for example, you were talking about doing outside, but you can doing at work as well. Let's say you get an email, a client is not very happy with your product, and you get really overwhelmed and anxious or stressed, right? Pause and use that technique. 5 things I can see, 4 things I can touch, 3 things I can hear, 2 I can smell. Like, I don't know, there is a plant on your desk. You can smell the plant, right? Or you can smell the coffee. Your colleague next to you is having coffee. Something you can taste. I don't know. You've got like some snacks on your desk. So that technique is really, really powerful, because then suddenly your mind shifts from the problem and is looking for solutions. So you distance yourself from the anxiety and the problem. And when the emotion of the anxiety has gone down, then you've got more clarity to address the problem.
Yeah, yeah. You can also write down what you're thinking. What am I thinking about? Write it down. Write, what am I feeling? Try to process these emotions, and try to now focus on these emotions. What am I feeling? In a way, it's going to help you to reduce the stress that you're feeling, because sometimes when you're dealing with some pain or whatever it is, you focus on what am I feeling? You focus on the pain, so that it now narrows down to, how do I deal with it? What are my thoughts about this pain? What are my thoughts and feelings about what I'm going through? And then somehow you're going to discover the ones that are helping and the ones that are stressing. And then you're able to reduce the ones that are stressful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Journaling is a way as well to identify some patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
You write down, and maybe you get stressed over the same situation. So, hey, what can I do? Can I just get rid of this situation? Or now I know that it will trigger anxiety or stress in that situation. What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
Can I prepare myself? So I think it's journaling is a way to identify if it happens as well with the same person. You get anxious with your boss all the time. You've got an appraisal, or you have to go and talk to him or to her. So you know, then it's a good way to identify patterns.
Yeah, and identifying, what are those things that are making me stressed up, or not feel okay. If it is people, setting boundaries, also staying away from them, letting them go if you have to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if it is maybe a situation at work, either letting the job go and seeking another one, or maybe starting something new. You can even change your hobbies into purpose, or something else that can generate money. So you don't need to stay in that job that is stressing you. So limit exposure to the things that stress you, the situation, screen time, and all these other things that are making the situation worse. And maybe you can also, it's good, not maybe, but it is very good and very important that we seek help.
Yes.
Very, very important that we seek help. Recently, I was dealing with somebody who wanted to commit suicide. And a friend of hers walked into the situation. She had climbed a 5-story building and stood at the top. And coincidentally, it's like a colleague who walked into the situation. She's ready to jump, down. And then this friend said, before you jump, can we talk to someone? And I said, okay, can I call somebody for you? It's someone who doesn't know you. They will not judge you. They don't care. They will just maybe assist somehow, or just point out. Don't tell it to me. I will even walk away. And she called me. This friend called me. So she gave me the phone. She gave the friend the phone, and I asked her, tell me your name. And she said her name. And I told her, I want you to breathe 10 deep breaths before you do anything. Just breathing, God has given us breath for free. So please breathe. Let's see what happens. And she started breathing. And in the 5th one, she broke down and started crying. And she came down and stopped even going down, wanting to climb. And so she sobbed and sobbed, and I was telling her it's okay to cry, it's okay to go through, all these that things that we are going through are making us stronger. You can imagine what you'll be tomorrow. You will be a stronger person because you've gone through what you've just gone through, and you will be, okay. You'll be doing your own things. You may not be very much okay, but this is the beginning. So she
Exactly.
continued breathing and sobbing, and I would tell her, just breathe, breathe, breathe. And I told her, okay, fine. Now, how are you feeling? She said, I'm feeling better. I told her, tell me what you're going to do in the next 10 minutes. And she said, I'm going to pick my kids.
Mm.
And all of a sudden the mood changed, everything changed. And now she's hugging the friend and and they walked away and they went to pick the kids and everything went on well. So we started now the therapy sessions, the coaching sessions. So seek help. Talk to somebody. Sometimes we think that our problem is so big to handle,
Mhm.
yet so many of us have gone through even worse than what you're going through. So speak to someone. There's help. There's always help out there.
Totally. That's true. Talk to
Mm.
people. Talk to a professional, and and the fact as well that she cried, that was a way to release all that emotion, negative emotion, and just let go. Because that's the thing, when we're stressed or we're anxious and we go to that, or we reach that point, right? It's just because we've had enough. It's enough.
Yeah.
We can't cope
Mhm.
anymore, right? So enough. So yeah.
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 So, and there's still a lot that we can do,
Mhm.
like, like sleeping.
Oh yes. Sleep.
Yeah. I
Having a
saw a
routine.
post. Sorry.
Having a routine. Having a routine.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I saw a post by a friend who had written on Facebook, and the post was in the middle of the night, and she wrote, "Insomnia team, where are you? Come, come, let's chat." And so many people who are writing and just saying what they're doing and I can't sleep. I'm thinking about, I don't know what, so many people. So you can imagine the number of people who are suffering from insomnia.
Yeah.
Yet, um, using all these techniques we've been talking about and grounding yourself, simple things can help you to sleep, to have a good, healthy sleep, which is going to help you calm because the mind needs to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and diet as well, eating healthily. So healthy,
Yeah.
and not like we were talking about sugar and caffeine, but still eating like something which can give you energy, but which will not have a side effect. Take some vitamins, some minerals that will help your brain to function better. Yeah, healthy diet. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah. And shifting how you think, let your mind shift into the positivity.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing my training this week, I was talking about how to shift your mind and how to shield your mind from negativity, no matter what happens, what is happening around you. Because we just need to know that things will always happen. Life happens to all of us. And sometimes we may have difficult people in our lives. Sometimes they may even be our children. But what do? We have to deal with them. We have to always still shift our mindsets and know that it can still turn into a positive outcome, or it can still be positive. It can still work for them and for ourselves and for us. So I've tried to apply this positivity, and I think it is easier to stay in faith, in the positive side, than to stay in fear.
Mm-hmm.
So, like somebody would ask, how do you forgive somebody and continue staying, or continue being in this marriage, or something like that? And I would say that I'd rather be in faith than being in fear. And
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that anything that we focus on grows. If I want to focus on the fear, it will grow. If I want to focus on the faith, it will bring positive things. So where you want to focus, it's up to you. But shifting your mindset to positivity, to faith, to believing that better things can happen, you deserve good things in your life, you can get them. They're out there for you. For you, it is possible, and you'll start attracting those things in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The
I
mindset.
think it's very important that we work on mindset. What am I thinking? Is it positive?
Yeah.
Being conscious of what you're thinking. Is it positive? Am I on the positive side? And then managing the time.
Woohoo, yes, that's a big one.
Managing your time. Have a to-do list. This one is not easy for so many of us, especially in Africa. We say in Africa we don't keep time. So
Same here, actually,
in fact, we say that there's this. It's funny, and it's. I don't want it to sound racist, but we say when somebody keeps time and they reach whatever they were going, wherever they were going, in time. In Swahili, we call white people is mzungu. So we say, yeah, I'm mzungu, so I keep time.
Well, yeah, I mean, here in Ecuador, it's the same. The notion of time is totally different.
Oh,
Yeah, so you
interesting.
have to go with the flow, and so yes, keeping time management and is important as well. I mean, for
It's very
yourself
important.
and obviously for others, because you are part of a group anyway. So, but yeah, and what I do to keep my time and manage my time, I've only got one calendar, just one.
Mm.
One calendar, I mean, which is linked to my phone, right, and my computer. I
Mm-hmm.
put everything on my calendar. Could be medical appointments, vet appointments because of my dogs, could be for work, or it is for work, for appointments, personal appointments, when I go out, what I have to do. Everything is in one place because
Wow.
I don't double book, right? Or I don't forget something.
Yes.
So it gives me structure to, I mean, sometimes I have to be a bit flexible, but at least the base is there and I know what I've got to do each day and especially the important things. But everything is on the same calendar. I mean, I was talking to
Mm-hmm.
a friend who said to me, a lot of people don't have like one main calendar. And I was like, how do they manage? I couldn't manage if I didn't use just one calendar. Uh,
Yeah.
because I would probably miss things, double book things. I would be really, really stressed out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to have everything that you need to do in one place. It's
Yes.
easier, makes life easier.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Isa, I think we need to conclude this.
Yes.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
we've been
that
an hour
sharing.
talking. Look at that.
Yeah. So,
But it's a topic, it's a very interesting topic and so present in our lives, really. So
yes. Yeah, yeah. It just tells you that the time we have spent, it means that there's a lot that you can do, and there's a lot out there that you can learn about mental health. And it also speaks about how important it is in your life. So, ladies, let's not kill ourselves because doing what we cannot. Let's do what we can, and let's take care of our minds because at the end of the day, you are your mind. You don't need to struggle alone. You don't need to go through what you're going through alone. Speak up, talk to us. Isa, talk to her. In Africa, we have internet after all. Why would you miss such good conversations with such a talented woman in your own space, locking yourself up? So there's a lot out there. Let us share. Let us talk to each other. Isa, thank you for the evening. I have had fun. I have learned. You're such a great mentor and a great teacher. Thank you very much.
Well, asante sana, Angela, for being here and exchanging with you as well, giving me some tips, things I can apply myself, and I can guide as well my clients to implement. And so, ladies, we will see you in 2 weeks' time. We will post the flyer with a new topic next week. And in the meantime, take care of yourself. Me first, me second, me third.
Me, myself, and I.
Exactly. So see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, Angela. See you in 2 weeks' time.
See you in 2 weeks.